Welcome back everyone to another insanely valuable cold email video. And I'm calling it right off the bat because I know for a fact that a lot of you guys that have been sending out cold emails for quite some time now, you probably have a really big email list, but you haven't made the most out of it. So you just kind of send a campaign and then you get your standard 5, 10 response rates, whatever, and you just kind of take that as the end all be all, the final result, right? And I don't think that that's an efficient way to go about it because you spend all this time on hiring and training appointment setters and all this budget on building the list and all this time sending out campaigns, and you just take those results as given when in reality, there are probably a lot of leads that will find your services relevant, just not right now. So say, for example, there's a list of 1,000 leads that you've built out, and there's this pool of 100 leads that would be interested at some point in time in your services. Now, let's say that first campaign that you send out, only about 50 of those actually end up responding to you, and the remaining 50 just don't really find it relevant at the moment. What this QRE method that I'm about to show you does, and it's just an abbreviation for quarterly re-engagement, but what this method does is it maximizes your chances of getting the rest of those 50 people who would be interested in your services later down the line. And so keep in mind that there is a little bit of an effect of diminishing returns here, because maybe the first time around there's 50 people that respond, second time around there's 30, and then the remaining, the last campaign, you get like the last 10 or 20 leads, right? So it's not going to be like a linear, it's not going to be like a flat sort of curve where you're getting the same number of meetings or responses every single time. But it's a really good way, as I said, to maximize the lead list potential and actually get a flood of meetings booked onto your calendar essentially for free at the start of every quarter. So I call it the QRE method, but it doesn't have to strictly be January 1st, April 1st, etc., etc. It just basically means that you're doing this every 2, 3, 4 months, just so that, as I said, you're making the most out of this list. So it's a really simple process. This is probably going to be a sub 10 or 12 minute video just because it's really quick. But the way you do this is, first off, you want to go ahead and go back through your Gmail and star every single response that you've ever gotten from any cold email campaign. Once you've done that, you want to go ahead and copy over those exact email addresses into your don't send list. And if you don't have one, just set one up real quick. Copy all of these email addresses over. Now, the next step is to take all these email addresses, copy paste them into your Lemlist unsubscribe section. And I'm assuming that all of you guys use Lemlist for cold emailing because it's personally the best one that I've tested and found so far. So you copy paste into the unsubscribe section. And then this is basically like just for your own reference, but this is really what's going to do the heavy lifting for you, right? Because you want to go ahead and unsubscribe even your current clients, right? You don't want to send out any new cold email campaigns to people that have already signed on with you. And you also don't want any cold email, templated cold emails going out to even the people that have responded negatively or said that it wasn't relevant or anything like that. Obviously, if they've unsubscribed, they should be here. Even if they say, look, follow up with me 6 months down the line, you don't necessarily want to send out a templated cold email again, right? Like running through your case studies again and all this stuff because you've already had a prior interaction. And the wisest thing to do at that point is to follow up to the previous email interaction, like literally respond to that email conversation. So those aren't going to be in your re-engagement either. And then even the people that have booked in a call with you, you definitely don't want to do that because they've already shown interest. And even if they decide to book in a discovery call and they just didn't close, again, you don't want to send out a brand new cold email. So the only people left that you should be doing QRE for are the ones that have never, ever interacted and responded to your emails ever. Now, once you've done this, really, really easy from here, go ahead and go through your main lead list. And you don't have to, here's the key, you don't have to worry about removing the emails that have responded to you because they've already been unsubscribed here. And Lemlist has this cool feature where anyone in this unsubscribe section will never ever receive any Lemlist campaign email ever. So copy over this information without regard to, removing the leads like manually in this list. Let's say that you want to set up a re-engagement campaign for 30 of these email addresses. This is not going to be exact because some of these are probably going to be in the unsubscribe section. So, let's just be approximate here. Let's say from cell 2 to cell 31, that's 30 emails. Copy this over and then create a new spreadsheet as usual, as if you were setting up a regular campaign. So let's rename this. Let's call it, today's the 12th. So let's do February 14th. That's Monday, QRE. And then name your columns as usual. So it would be email, first name, and I have company on here as well. And then you paste these over. Just for your own visual reference, you probably want to bold this and then highlight it yellow. And then really simple, almost there. Download the CSV file. Let me move myself again. Download the CSV file. We have it over here. Head back over to Lemlist, and then now all you need to do is, let's head back to the editor here, is to set up a new campaign. Again, title it QRE February 14th, 2022. Import the CSV file, browse files, this one right here. And then for mapping the fields, you just want to double check. Yeah, we have email maps to email, first name maps to first name, company maps to company name. Hit next. No, we're just going to set up an email campaign. This is really important. So yes, you're okay with duplicates because you've already sent out a campaign the first time around. If you click no, none of these emails are going to get sent out. So click yes here. And then all 30 leads have been imported. Okay, it's not going to be exactly 30 probably because, as I said, some of these leads are going to be in the unsubscribe or don't send section. So just keep that in mind. No CRM setup here. And then, you set up the schedule, right? Let's just do a random one here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, validate. Doesn't really matter here. I'm just going through the motions. And then let's do morning. And okay. So that's essentially the setup process. It's really, really simple and really easy to do. And it essentially costs you zero because you're not having your appointment setters or lead list builders find a bunch of new leads. You're literally just re-emailing the ones that you already have. Okay. So it's a really good way to set yourself up every quarter because you get a bunch of emails booked essentially for free. The thing you have to, again, keep in mind is that you're typically not going to get the same response rates that you did the first time around. So if you had like a 10% response rate, you should expect the re-engagement campaigns to be getting, for example, the first re-engagement, you would get maybe a 5% response rate. Second re-engagement, you would get 2 or 3%, and then so on and so forth until you really, really exhaust that entire list. So hopefully this was helpful for you. This is a really, really cool strategy that I think everyone should be doing. If you have any questions about this process, just go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to it as soon as I can. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. Leave a comment, even if it's just to say hello. And I'll see you guys in the next one.